Hello everybody, this is Commissar here, and today I'm bringing you a best of 3 1 vs 1 series from MLG Columbus. This is from the pool play, from the open bracket. I think it's round 3 of the open bracket, but nonetheless it is a very big match nonetheless. Two very big names, two players who both did progress through into the later stages of the tournament. They certainly went all the way out through the winners and losers brackets respectively, and I won't tell you who did win and who did lose, but it is FXO QXC versus Mouse ThorZaIN. Okay, so anyway, into these two players, QXC is actually from Spain. He is a European player, one of possibly the best Spanish player. I'm not really sure about that at all, but he is certainly a very well-known player. He's done well in some tournaments. No major tournament wins that I'm aware of, but he's certainly been around for a very long time. He's played StarCraft 2 since the opening stages of the beta, he said. So he's certainly a very good Terran to look out for, and one of the best Master League players in the European server. Conversely, our blue Terran player, ThorZaIN, he's in the bottom left side of the map, as opposed to the center left, which is QXC. But ThorZaIN, he is very well known. He's recently become very popular. He wasn't well known very long ago, but he's recently just become very well known, and the reason for that is that he won the TSL 3. So TSL 3 is possibly one of the biggest tournaments that exists in the world outside of Korea. I think he won $15,000 for winning TSL 3, so that just tells you how big the tournament is. So really now suddenly popular player. He wasn't really well known before he won the TSL, but after he did win, he suddenly got a huge wave of popularity. Suddenly everybody knows who ThorZaIN is, and he's considered to be one of the top players outside of Korea. Lots of the Koreans were saying, I saw a bunch of interviews at the MLG Columbus, and some of the Koreans were saying that yeah, ThorZaIN was one of the players that they were a bit worried about playing in terms of foreigners that can actually stand up to the Koreans. So that's pretty interesting to note, and it is possibly the highest level Terran versus Terran matchup that exists at the moment, except for, well, certainly from the European servers at least. Okay, so looking at what the two players are doing now, we do have the supply, one bracket, two supply depot wall in from ThorZaIN. It's not necessarily necessary, if that made sense, not necessary always in TVT to wall off. Let's players do choose to anyway, no real problem with it. It denies scouting. With your Marines you generally can defend the high ground here. Just don't get too far behind on your Marine Marauder count, otherwise you will just maybe get a couple of buildings sniped, and that won't be very pleasant. But other than that, the Wallen's fine, the Wallen's standard, and so is not walling in, that's also standard. And we do see a factory, interestingly enough, by QXC, being hidden at the back of his base. So this building placement, I think, is designed so that if a scan goes down, it will completely miss the building placement. Obviously, if any sort of scouts try to run by, they're very likely to miss that placement unless they get right into the back of the base, which, say, a Hellion scout might do, but unless you see something like that, I wouldn't really expect that to happen. You might notice the similar building placement from ThorZaIN too, so far pretty similar from both players, although we do have a fast expansion coming down now for ThorZaIN compared to the starport of QXC, so this is a big difference between these two players in the very early stages of this game, which is that one player is trying, as in ThorZaIN, is trying to macro up like insanely, just going for that one Rex, or not really one Rex, one factory expand before going to starport. QXC has gone straight to the starport, and if you look at the timings, interestingly enough, the starport for QXC is only about 15-20 seconds ahead, so I'm not quite sure why, how that managed to be so close. I think it might be just a slightly lower unit count. Is that the case? Yeah, we do have 2 less Marines from ThorZaIN, so that is why he was able to get out that command center earlier. I believe that technique is called powering. So powering is where what you do is that you'll delay the production of a certain type of unit in order to make sure that you can get what you want faster. So basically, say, if you're a Protoss player, oh, whoa, sorry I missed this, the factory that was at the back of the base of QXC is just lifted up and landed in the back of ThorZaIN's base. So QXC, and it's being scouted too, I think that factory just scouted this. So we have a scouted proxy factory in the back of ThorZaIN's base. At the same time, we have the front door being knocked down. And when we get the reactor, the reactor would be huge if it went down. No, SCVs will save it, it looks like. At the meantime, we do have the Hellion getting huge damage, it looks like. No, not getting much damage at all, really. Sorry, my mistake. The SCV is actually able to attack a Hellion. Not every day you see that, and it looks like ThorZaIN's actually able to hold that surprisingly easily. I thought he'd be having a lot more damage dealt to him than actually did in the end. And now we do have the Marines of ThorZaIN going off to clean up that factory. It probably will fly away at the cost of this Hellion. Maybe will this Hellion do any damage? It doesn't have Blue Flame. So really, without Blue Flame, one Hellion on its own is not really going to do too much. You really need Blue Flame if you want to get into too much of that sort of stuff. And we do now have a Banshee. Is Cloak on the way? Cloak is on the way, but it's still 30 seconds off. So it will not be necessarily too useful for this Banshee, which is actually racking up way too many kills. I think QX is way too slow to react to this. He's a bit distracted with his own Banshee, which is in the base of ThorZaIN, so he is saving his own Banshee. Meanwhile, did he realize that there's a Banshee over here? No, he doesn't. So this Banshee is being allowed to give a huge economic lead to ThorZaIN, and QXE still doesn't realize this. There are so many workers killed. 14, 15 workers killed. That is enormous, that Banshee's damage. Meanwhile, do have similar economic damage over here. Although a scan and a bunch of Marines are ready to kill this Banshee. It won't go down. It looks like 2 health, so it is still going to survive for a little bit longer. Second Banshee now coming in. I don't know if ThorZaIN has enough scans, although no, he's going to lose this Banshee, will he? Oh no, he's not going to lose this Banshee. It looks like we're going to micro it correctly. However, we do now have zero mining left in the base of ThorZaIN. He doesn't even realize it, it looks like. And suddenly he looks back at his base, sees, oh crap, I just lost my Banshees. Then he looks back at his base and sees, oh, my SCVs are all dead, and there's a GG. So, excuse me, disappointing from QXE that he didn't actually react at all to this Banshee, because I certainly think that if he realized what was happening, he would have been able to deal with it. He would have taken some damage, yes, but certainly nothing to the scale of what he actually did end up taking. And while his Banshees did manage to do a significant amount of damage themselves, killing, sorry, only 5 workers, but still killing quite a few other units. He's not doing anywhere near as much as he would have liked to. His proxy play was creative, yes. It had a potential to be good, but in the end it didn't really do very much. And it was, again, really good defense by ThorZaIN. I was a bit surprised that he was able to hold off so well at the start. And just, you know, that's solid by ThorZaIN. He did get up his expansion earlier. He ended up having plenty of Marines. He ended up having basically everything that he needed when he needed it. So, hats off to ThorZaIN. He played a good match out, and I hope you enjoyed that game. It was a quick game, but I promise you there will be longer games in the remainder of this best of 3 series between QXE and ThorZaIN. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in game number 2.